So thanks for tuning back in with us. This is the second episode, the next episode, whatever episode of the Inquisitive Mind of Louis T. And this time we got some of my friends. They're going to help me kind of figure out what cities outside of New York, Atlanta, and LA, are pushing the culture for hip hop. Like some of the most influential cities outside of those top three. And so this, we're in our it's like the semifinals, the regional conference or whatever. Yeah, the regionals. So we're back. So with me to help kind of deliberate this, to my left we got Mr. AFJ, Reggie Slicks, Fuzz Jackson, a.k.a.
Your mom's favorite rapper. Thank you very much.
And again with us, we also have helping moderating and doing them fact checks, them check facts, and fact checks,
getting them fat checks.
Making sure we straight and we ain't just, lying to y'all. I'm lying, but make sure that, everybody's in line. We got Sparks, a.k.a. Laurel, looking everything up. And then on the other side, we got Mr. Fang Gang himself, HP. And at the
something
end,
clever.
And I'm sure he need no introduction. Mr. YouTube famous. We got Taylor Gang.
Lee Hustle was goody.
All
the world,
right.
we here. Round 2. Semis.
All right. So this is gonna get I don't think none of the except for one or two last time it didn't get too deep. But I think in these regionals, this is when the real you have to pull some of that hip hop knowledge out to really defend who you feel is repping. So what for the regionals, what we got coming up, Laura?
So we're going to start with the East, and we have New Jersey and Philly.
Ooh. Dirty Jersey.
Chilltown.
Philly.
296.
Philadelphia. 215.
Gotta ride with Jersey.
215.
I don't even know.
Clerk.
Which is a crazy rivalry anyway. You know what I'm saying? They have a rivalry anyway, and I think Philly. You know what I'm saying? Just everything we said in the first round. I think Philly just legends. I'm gonna have legends. Jersey might have probably a little bit more legends, but as far as what was done for hip hop, I'm gonna have to say Philly. Man. Just my opinion.
That changes everything when he said as far as what they done for hip hop. Because I was riding with Jersey until he said that shit. Until he said,
well, now
because that's a valid point. Shoot your shot.
Queen Latifah brought strong African American presence to hip hop and the world over as far as music goes. Yes, you have your MC Lights. Yes, you have your Miss
Ladies
Melody,
first,
but
right?
Queen Latifah specifically made it her point to address herself as a queen to give prominent figure image to women.
Ladies First was a huge record too.
So let's not just say because she was a dope rapper, and as Dana Owen, she was a dope singer. She had the flavor unit. She brought also, like we said, we argued Will Smith for television, and everything we said in the last round was concrete. And she wasn't doing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air numbers.
But she did live in single though.
She did live in single, and you can't discredit what that did for women.
And said it all.
She's a Jersey Will Smith.
Yeah, she's the Jersey Will Smith.
Okay, well, Eve opened up a lot of women's eyes to physical abuse with Love Is Blind.
Queen Latifah already did it with UNITY.
Shit.
This is fucking tennis match.
So now we basing New Jersey off of Queen Latifah?
No, that's the first one in the bag. That's just the first one in the bag. Because at this point, you're right.
It goes back to the point you made of when you said what Philly contributed to hip hop.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Queen Latifah contributed as well. But I'm still gonna have to go, man. I'm gonna have to go with Philly on this one, man. Philly brought a lot.
So how about this? Let me flip it and going back off what Haji said, with Flavor Unit. So Flavor Unit from New Jersey have a lot of New York influence. You got black, what was the Roll with the Flavor? Like that was probably one of the biggest posse cuts since the symphony. Jersey. You know, you got what was the other guy from Flavor Unit? DJ 45. God,
45 King.
45 King produced for Jay-Z.
You have a group out of Philadelphia named Boys to Men. And they definitely is a part of our culture, hip hop culture. So I pretty much think Boys to Men can really shut a lot down. If you want to take it to pushing hip hop, Boys to Men was huge for Philly.
I think Boys to Men can definitely catch a win over the Flavor Unit, over just the Flavor Unit. I still don't think like legacy status, Queen Latifah, but we'll take her off the table. We argued her point. Redman. And I know I'm the only one vying for Jersey right now,
No,
so I'm just
with
waiting.
you.
I'm
We
waiting
got
for somebody to
Rod-
rebuttal
I'm gonna
Redman.
put-
Rod Digger.
See, we had again. I'm not.
You haven't even
I'm not pulling out all the tricks yet.
outsiders too. Like you hadn't.
Yeah,
even,
I haven't pulled out all the tricks. I'm just.
But
trying to
you,
go.
but I mean,
Cassidy.
if state property.
As far as like
Artifacts.
now, when I say Cassidy, I mean Cassidy opened the world eyes, not us because we already knew what it was, but Cassidy opened the world eyes to metaphors and punchlines on a scale to like, what the fuck he just said?
I don't.
I mean, like, if we want to really dissect Philly versus like Cassidy, just like how Redman opened up his lane, Cassidy opened up a lot of lanes for a lot of people as far as rapping over other dudes' beats and just saying some shit that you be like, yo, like making people want to go in the booth and do some shit like that, do a 2-minute shit without saying a hook. Cassidy is like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to help Philly fight out the bag one time because, like, I ain't want to go in the booth and make a song like Redman.
But who-
I wanted to go have the hottest freestyle like Cassidy when I was rapping.
Grand scale now. Is Cassidy really touching Redman?
No.
Then Cassidy's out.
But Cassidy, the hits that Cassidy had,
So if you
You
want to
could
talk about
pretty much-
hits, what about Naughty by Nature? You want to
go.
talk about hits, Naughty by Nature.
Talk about the roots if you want to talk about hits.
exactly. If you want to talk
Well,
about
no, we can and that's a good match.
We can go back and forth with that too.
But let's go Naughty by Nature hits and Roots hits.
Um,
And one of never mind. I'm about to say one of those hits
are we,
has somebody
like,
from Philly,
so
but
are we going from early album on?
we go
Which-
all out.
Which is
Distortion and Sound was a hit. That's off their first
Distortion and Static?
one. I'm sorry, Distortion and Static.
Nobody cares about that but us.
yeah, but
Oh,
the
I
Baby,
mean,
you got me.
OPP.
Seed.
OPP
None of
was
those
bigger
were
than-
none of
I
those
don't
were
even go OPP.
like worldwide hits.
Yeah,
Let's
I'll
go Hip Hop
OPP.
Parade.
Yeah, Hip Hop Parade. What's something out of Philly bigger than Hip Hop Parade?
something bigger. Summertime.
Boom.
Oh,
Girls in the world. Look. Hey, hustle. Parents just don't understand.
Yes.
Rakim wrote Summertime. That don't count. That's from New York.
Come on, man.
Rakim wrote that.
but again,
Come on
but
now.
again, that's a Will Smith jam, and we already played that card. We already played that card.
Yeah.
Yeah, like-
you can say like the Men in Black.
Word though, like
Hey, for real, man. You could.
like movies, like Bad Boys, like
Ali.
Jersey City Drive.
Yeah, set it off.
Yes.
Like we for the acting, we got Queen Latifah.
Fat Albert.
Say what?
Fat Albert.
You lost me that one.
I'd like to point out that he doesn't count. That person has been convicted of several charges.
Hey, look. I'm one of the people on Facebook that's saying, yo, nobody should go through that. If he did that, fry his ass. But we talking about Bill was dibbling and dabbling with hip hop here and there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as a culture,
Actually, Bill was anti hip hop.
Yeah.
Bill was
Yeah,
pro
he-
jazz, anti hip hop.
He didn't. Yeah,
He was not rocking with us.
Yeah,
I mean,
like vocally not rocking
yeah.
with us. Not
okay, well, I didn't.
But that and I say this and I don't mean to interrupt. I'm still a Bill Cosby fan. Dr. Huxtable will still mean a lot to me. Now I don't agree with any of the things he did.
I'm rocking with Uncle Phil.
I think he should go to jail
Uncle
for making
Phil-
Leonard Part 6.
or Ghost.
Philly's still like without
Ghost
Bill,
Dad.
Philly's still doing their thing, man.
I think Philly got, and then when you want to talk about the mid to late 2000s with the whole state property movement and Siegel and that's because they ran charts, man. When that
Charts.
squad,
Fetty Wap.
Nobody had. All right, as far as charts,
Fetty had.
He
and
gave
that's
you the Trap
recently.
Queen.
3. He gave you 3, and that's recently. Like Meek is, and I give you like I said Meek last time, and Meek is current, but who got bigger hits, Fetty Wap or Meek Mill?
to me or to
No,
Grand
bigger,
scale.
Bigger. Who has bigger hits?
well, Trap Queen was a hit, bro. So
Man.
I would have to say. But I mean, Meek got some hits though.
I gave you
all
that.
right,
but I'm
hold
saying
tight.
who has bigger hits?
UNCW college freshman female is more likely to quote what? Mills or Fetty Wap?
Trap Queen, definitely.
And I use that as an example to say outside of what would be considered the norm for like hip hop demographic, right?
Yeah.
You know.
You're right.
So
You're right.
if that person is being touched and being moved, it's undeniable. It's undeniable at that point.
So
does
Beans-
did Meek have my bad? Did Meek have any joints with Nicki?
One. At least
Just
one.
one?
At least one big one, and he got joints with Drake. But that still doesn't give Philly props.
Yeah.
You riding on somebody else's coattails.
French Montana effect.
Exactly.
So, like what Fuzz was saying, y'all mean to tell me that the impact that State Prop had.
That didn't.
I'm saying they were Jay-Z juniors.
That didn't. I'm
Yeah,
saying-
but they
Without
put
Hov.
Philly on the map when Philly was nobody cared about Philly though at that time.
No doubt.
That's what
Not-
for a long time people
Yeah.
cared about them for a long time.
Not knocking that, but I'm talking
But-
about innovators now. Yes, they brought attention to Philly. Were they innovating anything? Groups like groups like
Yeah,
the
I do.
Fugees were innovators.
Look, I agree that they did because nobody was sounding like Siegel or Freeway.
Freeway. Now,
or
I'll give it to
or
Freeway.
Spark. Nobody was doing.
Freeway was
So
so
the
Philly.
Outsiders had the influence on arguably the biggest art MC in hip hop.
They gave you Eminem.
But the Outsiders did.
Yeah. The biggest, arguably. I'm not saying.
But
it.
guess what?
Yeah,
Eminem's from
arguably.
Detroit, so it don't matter. That's
Hey,
right. That
hey.
don't even matter. That don't even matter. Eminem's from Detroit. Piss on that.
And
Don't
we
even
have
worry
not,
about
look,
that.
as far as Wade, we have
Talking
not
about
yet
Philly.
to see what Lil
Don't be
Uzi did
insulted.
yet.
We talking about Philly right now. We talking about what Philly did. Like Lewis said,
I mean,
what has
you
Philly
asked
done?
if Meek Mills had a song with Nicki.
Only reason why I was saying that because y'all are talking about hits, and if and when you
And
talk
even
about
those wasn't
UNCW
hits
freshmen,
like Trap Queen.
Yeah.
you know, there are too many UNCW female freshmen who aren't Nicki fans. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking, you know, but
And
nah,
so
man,
yeah,
I gotta go. With
So
Philly, man.
the Philly guy with Nicki Minaj still don't got a hit with the Jersey guy, new artist by himself, One Eye by himself.
But what has Jersey done for you like lately? Trap Queen was what 3 years ago.
What has Philly done except for let Meek out of jail?
I mean,
Philly, I don't know, man. I still think Philly.
I mean,
just-
Philly still like
you haven't
the
even
roots
talked
is-
about the battling stuff yet.
Yeah, like Philly just did a lot for like the urban, like the underground, like Philly just did a lot, bro. Like the Flame of DVDs, Batcave Radio, like
Joe Budden.
AR Ab, like Philly,
Forgot
like
about AR Ab.
all these dudes coming out of Philly, like Philly made it.
So you got Joe Budden's Ransom. I mean, for all
But-
Well,
Ran-
and
Ran-
Joe
you got-
Budden,
nah,
and Joe
I
Budden,
can't.
who is again arguably one of the most important pieces of hip hop right now. One of the biggest voices.
Most
one of the
people didn't
biggest
even-
I
advocates.
could see where I could.
You
see
could
where
go back,
say
but
that.
you can go back to the roots. One of the most sought after bands.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times you seen them back up for somebody else?
I can't.
Other than,
any
you know,
argument you throw at me
so-
with the roots, I can't. I can't.
mean-
rebut.
What about? I mean, but you say Roots, I say Fugees.
And I think that the hits go to Fugees, but I can't. The roots are on Fallon, dog.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's what shuts the book on
Yeah.
that. But I mean, like I said, the roots got
So
hits.
okay, look, so for it sounds like what I'm hearing. So me and Haji for Jersey, we're saying Queen Latifah. We're saying Naughty by Nature. We're saying Fetty Wap. What were we just saying? We're saying the Fugees.
Saying Joe Budden.
Saying Joe Budden's right now pushing the culture. So Philly, I'm hearing Beanie Siegel.
Will
I'm
Smith.
hearing the Roots.
The Roots.
State
Property.
Will Smith.
Bahamadia.
Again.
My man was hot in the late 90s. Trey Lee was from Philly. Hey.
Lil Uzi.
Boom. Case
Major
closed.
figures.
Major figures.
Nobody,
We were talking about,
figures.
Nobody even like major figures.
Gilly.
I do.
But
like when we said
Ab
the
Lava.
whole,
But we. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No, yeah, you good, bro.
I'll give you Uzi because again, that's somebody transcending. State Prop was big for heads. Outside of heads, nobody was checking for state property. That's facts. You know what I mean? Like they made music for us, and they did a lot for us, and they did a lot for hip hop as a culture. But like moving it all the way forward,
They made New York dudes pick their pins up, man. Again.
That's what I'm telling.
Like
Yeah.
that's the one thing that you know, and excuse me, and they were funded by one of the biggest artists and labels in New York to come out of New York City.
they
like
also had people wearing their clothes.
we're not even gonna talk about the cultural movement by the gear from that. I mean, this guy got Beanie Siegel got away with selling pants that you could put guns in the pocket, like in the mall. I've seen the shit in the mall. They had their own section in Wilmington Mall, one of the smallest malls I've ever been in my life.
we taught y'all how to steal cars.
One of my favorite movies, by the way, New Jersey Drive. But at the end of the day, state property, paper soldiers, all that came from
Kevin Hart.
Philly.
Man.
They
Kevin
made
Hart.
they
Philly.
made dudes wear pro kids again. What
Facts.
the State
Bruce
Property had
Springsteen.
pro kids.
Yeah. I think in Philly might
Bon Jovi.
by not by a landslide. I think Philly just because.
Yo, wait. Hall and Oates,
Oh,
Philly.
Man, let's keep it
Met
up.
met in an elevator at college in Philly.
MOP sampled them. No, they didn't. Wait, did they? Never mind. Scrap that.
So,
Because MOP ain't from Jersey.
Stacks Records.
From Brooklyn, like so that don't even make no
know.
sense.
Mad Shop
Philly,
Posse.
man. Stacks Records.
yeah,
I'm gonna go down screaming Jersey.
but I mean, I think Philly.
I'm not gonna concede defeat. So
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
take that for what you will.
Give PNB Rock some chance. He's gonna be.
I thought P&B Rock's from New York.
Nah, he from Philly. He from Philly. Yeah, he from Philly.
Isn't he the one that is he the one that Millie rocks on any block?
Nah, that's too Millie.
And I recently learned this was a scoop in the blessings in your lap. I didn't know that before. That's what.
So all right, so three. Let's say 3-1. I guess we're going Philly. What?
Try to hold y'all down, Clerk Street.
I mean, it's
Ocean,
close.
all
Like
that
I mean, but you know, I'm gonna let Philly ride on this one. But all right, so Sparky, what do we have next on the agenda?
We're gonna head to the North region. So we have Detroit and Chicago.
All right, the D versus Chi-Town. Man, you got
Detroit.
Um,
I'm going to go ahead and say Detroit. Just because of the Chicago, I think is definitely impactful the past few years, especially now with all the stuff they got coming out. But as far as legends and one of the best rappers in the world, one of the best producers in the world, I gotta go with Detroit, man.
and I can say the same thing for Chicago.
Yeah,
I'm going Chicago.
I'm on the wing. Like I can't, like, to be honest. Damn, man.
It ain't easy.
It's definitely
Right.
easy.
That was
But going to pick, it's gonna hurt me to pick them. But I have a lot of ways to defend it. So I'm gonna go with Chicago. But a part of me is definitely with Detroit. But as far as the debate, I'm gonna go with Chicago.
I definitely see. I mean, like you said, as I said before, arguably one of the biggest artists in the game. So I'm going with No homo.
The D.
Pause.
You gonna take that D?
I'm going with the D.
Get that D.
You know.
Going into what you said, arguably like the greatest rapper in the world.
I
Like,
didn't say greatest.
I mean, all right, well, the biggest. People say that about Ye.
And
Not now though.
no,
you talking about
let's start here. Let's start here.
Twitter rant.
And I'm gonna make this statement for Jesus and every single body. Kanye West is the most important and the greatest rapper of hip hop of all time. Period. Fight.
No.
And
No.
and people pay a lot of attention to Kanye West, man.
I would say one of the most controversial, one of the most what do you call, what's the word I'm looking for?
Provocative.
Trolling.
Definitely one of the most unpredictable. But as far as lyricism, it's close. But which verse are we talking about? The verses that he wrote or the verses that somebody else wrote? Whereas M, I mean, who's writing that for M? And then you want to talk about producers? Let's talk about Dilla.
And
One guy changed music, the whole face of music. Because not only does Dilla, Slum Village, De La Soul, Uma, we're talking Janet Jackson, Tony, D'Angelo, Erykah Badu. We're talking about a whole scheme. Yeah, a whole scheme.
But again,
Dilla saved Common's career.
Ye saved Common's career.
He was smart enough to get Dilla involved and on like Water
But Jay
Chocolate.
did it. People weren't taking Common back off of him.
No, but I also felt like if that was a full on, I think that was a full on smart move.
Like Water for Chocolate was probably his
That brought Common back.
B brought Common back. Like that's because once he did Like Water for Chocolate did Electric Circus come out after that?
Electric Circus
came out after that.
No, Electric Circus was before.
Was that before that?
That was before like Water for Chocolate. Yeah,
because he was nutty on that album.
I don't know. I don't
That's what I'm
agree
saying.
with.
That's why I say.
Erykah Badu.
Well, that's why I say. Well, actually, like Water for Chocolate though, that wasn't on good. That album went on.
No,
B was
it
on
wasn't.
good, but what I'm saying is,
I don't think he was on.
He was on. Good
Yeah, he was
for
on
B.
good for.
That's why I had
yeah.
a lot of Kanye West joints. But I'm saying like Water for Chocolate brought him back because of the Dilla influence that was all over that record.
All right, but then you got to
and
think about lyrics.
Dilla influenced Kanye West.
Come on, look.
Right.
Lupe Fiasco,
Royce the 5'9",
Chance the Rapper.
Chance, and right now,
Big Sean. I can do this all day.
Chief
Yo,
Keef.
So,
Elzai.
okay,
Elzai.
no,
I mean, but really
no,
though.
for Chief Keef, what's my man that No Fly Zone? What's my man name?
Oh, Trick.
Trick. Rick Ross had a show.
R.
and couldn't
Kelly.
perform.
R. Kelly.
Rick Ross
Hey,
could
look,
not get out of
Minus
his
what he did, you know what I'm saying? We talking about, look, man, R. Kelly.
No Fly Zone.
I don't know.
The no-fly-
I think
the
R.
no-fly
Kelly
zone.
is not that Detroit doesn't have their shutdowns, but R. Kelly is a shutdown.
You can't even compare him to R. Kelly.
Motown.
Nah,
wanna
dog.
say
All
that.
right, now you all the way outside the fly.
Yeah,
zone.
he said Motown. Come on,
Motown.
man.
If you want to compare like
If you talk about R. Kelly,
R.
Motown.
Kelly
Motown,
is hip hop though.
Motown. So Motown ain't hip hop.
No,
Oprah.
No.
She did
She does not
sip
like.
a quarter water in the middle of Marcy Projects, if that means anything.
That for Brooklyn it does.
That is.
For
a hip-hop
Jay-Z.
moment.
One of the biggest hip
That
hop
wasn't
moments.
for Chicago though.
But yeah, that was a move for Jay-Z. That was a move for Brooklyn.
That was-
a move
that
for
was-
New York.
That wasn't for Chicago.
But
I'm trying to.
Bulls.
The Bulls.
Pistons.
Bulls are all the way. No. I'm not talking
Pistons
about.
with Isaiah?
I'm not talking about teams. I'm talking about important to hip hop culture. The
Rodman.
Bulls.
Barack.
Bulls.
Rodman.
Barack.
But feel me on the Bulls, right? Because that's where 23 came from. Who raps Jordan's bigger than hip hop?
That's North Carolina.
Come on, dog. You know better than that.
He was wearing the 2-3 Eleni.
Like that's our entire language. That's how we speak to each other. That's J's. You got 4s, 5s, 3s.
I get that
Like
to North Carolina.
Detroit can't give us that.
I get that to Brooklyn and North Carolina, not Chicago. He was born in Brooklyn, raised in North Carolina.
Ain't nobody wearing the Laney colorways.
Yeah, they are. I got them on right now.
Nah, now you just grabbing. Now you just being Lewis. I ain't even entertaining that.
Detroit.
I pretty much. All right, now let's talk about waves. Now, as far as waves, you made a whole lot of points with. Of course, Jay Dilla, you can't really compare. You know what I'm saying? But as far as making a whole new sound, Chicago with that drill music shit, they literally have people everywhere doing that shit. It's New York. It's niggas in New York doing drill music now. Niggas in Philly doing drill music now. All these little young dudes coming up rapping want to be like Chief Keef. They got it where Herbo, all of them, like they whole little wave right now, man. That drill music, that's a sound that we're gonna hear for a long time.
You got Dej Loaf. You got people trying to sound just like. You got G Herbo doing collabs with Dej Loaf. Detroit. Like I mean, Detroit has like. There's been times where Chicago's fell off, but Detroit's consistent.
Twister. Can he stand for anything?
Yeah, he's the fastest rapper, at least at one point in time. But I mean, we still got Danny
Who
Brown.
did most of the production on 444?
No idea.
No, I did
Where's
all
he
of
from?
it.
New York.
Get out of here with that. Chicago.
I'm trying to think of some more people out of Chicago that could really stand up, but it's really like Fuzz made a big point. Like it's really Royce, Dilla.
I ain't even say Royce yet.
You
You know what I'm
And
saying? You
again,
got to throw Royce in
what
there.
about Danny Brown?
Danny Brown, too,
Danny Brown's
on the
dope.
independent tip.
Yeah.
Oh, and then hold on. As far as movements, you got what's the kid Black Milk talking about sounds?
Yeah.
That was like far as underground Black Milk. That whole God, who did he work with? Black Milk. The whole oh man.
Like I said, Detroit represent hip hop since rawest form
Then,
anyway.
then
so.
female artists, you got Invincible. I know you heard Invincible, right?
Mm-hmm.
She from Detroit.
Yeah, like I just feel like Detroit.
I mean,
is,
it's a
man.
tight conversation, man, and you can't lack on Chicago at all. But as far as like,
Where did the biggest hip hop records come from? Like, I Used to Love Her, Common, Chicago. Resurrection was one of the greatest albums of all times. Period. That's facts. Like, in the canon of hip hop, that's facts. Ye is, I would put Ye to M, but Ye is a much bigger artist than M.
but see, some of the biggest records came out of the Detroit
I just kind of feel
stable too.
that M had,
Like-
now me being on Chicago side, I kind of feel that M had bigger records than Ye. As far as like,
Lose
Yourself.
Lose Yourself.
My name is Stan.
First of all, the
I'm
8
not
hour.
saying
Nah,
he didn't
yeah,
have big
The
rappers.
eight,
Yeah, I see
the
where you're
8
coming
first,
from.
Yeah.
The 8 Mile movie. That's probably one of the best hip hop movies and biggest hip hop movies. That
8 Mile really
brought hip hop.
here.
That probably brought hip hop to how many people that didn't even for us because we're older. You know, like how we had movies that the generation younger than us. That was their show. That was their,
was their
Crush.
wild style,
The Crush Groove, all that.
yeah, 8
8
Mile
Mile
really,
was.
yeah. 8 Mile was huge for the D, man. Pause.
And I mean, I still think "Lose Yourself" is like one of the most technical, best hip hop songs. Like just going from beginning to end. Like it's just like when I say hip hop, I mean like rap.
I don't think it's one of the greatest like raps. And that's not to say it's not good, or that's not to say it doesn't have its place in the conversation. But in terms of like what rap is, I don't see that as a rap song. There's so many elements taken from other music in that song.
I don't think Kanye made a better album than Marshall Mathers LP.
I don't know. I mean, Graduation is probably one of
Not even college. For
And
me, not
College
even
Dropout.
college dropout was
That album,
Ye
Marshall
had
Mathers-
dudes
that
dressing
album was
different.
raw.
Ye had dudes dressing entirely different.
M had dudes dyeing their hair blind. That
True.
M
True,
M had well-to-do motherfuckers wanting to be poor just to see what it was like.
M was
Think
like,
about that shit, really.
Yeah, no. I'm with you.
Because we were around here when that happened. Remember
Yeah.
how many dudes we seen
Yeah.
shave their hair, dye it blonde, and wear white t-shirts that had money, that came from money, that saw M and was like, yo, I got to do this just to see. I mean,
You got M on
So,
records
all right,
talking
so
about
it's
new
really-
kids
'cause
on
it-
the block.
So let's look at it
you
this
know,
way.
I hate to, and I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
But I hate Hustle. Forgive me, as a lyricist, forgive me. But we got to throw this name in here because they created a movement too. Insane Clown Posse, Detroit.
Oh yeah, most
You
definitely.
got
Kid
to
Rock.
this day, you got
Most definitely.
grown ass people.
We
playing
do,
this
but are we
stuff like
owning them?
clowns
Are
and
we
shit.
owning them in hip hop? Because that's what this conversation is.
But
That's what this conversation is.
But
I'll own Kid Rock.
I was about to throw Kid
Yeah,
Rock out there. 'Cause when Kid
I'll-
Rock first started, he was trying to be a real rapper. When it wasn't selling, that's when he grew the mullet out and started doing the rock shit.
Yeah.
But he started out fade like he was from.
He
you
was
know,
down with Ron Syndicate, right?
Yeah. Him and Everlast.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff came out of Detroit.
The
Shit.
most hip hop ever.
Big Meech came out of Detroit, man. A lot of shit came out of Detroit, man. So like, I mean,
And I feel like I feel, and I mean Chicago's diverse too, but I feel like with Detroit, you got like a
There's
well-rounded.
way more.
You know, you got
Jack
you got
White,
good
Black
underground.
Stripes, all that shit.
Like
they
you
got
got
a-
like
Do or Die, Chicago.
Do you wanna ride?
name me another song other than Po Pimp.
yeah,
They don't need another song after Pope Pimp.
we solely like, for me to still represent Chicago, like the only thing I could pretty much see is like Ye, Chance. I think Tink is dope. Herbo and them Chief,
And let's not.
the Bulls. Family Matters. Fuck that. It was in Chicago, damn it. And Urkel rocked with us. Man. I don't care. Urkel was rapping and all on the episode, damn it. But like, nah.
Chance is leading that no labels fight. Like that's
Detroit.
I mean,
but
I would say, because I mean, who do you got with Detroit right now? You got Danny Brown, which is is an acquired taste. You know, you got Big Sean, Black Milk, Underground.
Then you got the whole battle scene, Quest McCody, Young Miles, like a lot, like them dudes
Royce
is
is
really
still
buzzing,
kind of
man.
active.
Royce is very active. Prime 2 just came out.
Prime with Premier. You know, like Royce
Vic Mensa.
arguably might have brought Premier back. I mean, I don't know if he ever left, but you know, like far as a Gangstar type of vibe.
Yeah, but Royce has been pretty consistent. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if he just brought him back as much as that was just another good idea.
And don't get me started with Royce, because my personal opinion, I know I'm gonna get shitted on for saying this, but I think Royce is, if not right there with M, a little bit better. Just
Yeah,
because
I like Royce. Man.
yeah, just because like Eminem will kill you on the wordplay, but the thought, because y'all are lyricists, y'all know
Yeah.
the thought process behind some of the shit that Royce says, it's
Yeah, his
amazing.
setups- his
man.
setups be
His
crazy.
setups are brilliant.
His setups be crazy.
But I think where Eminem edges out is he's got the dope setups, but technically, like that's a math problem on paper for him. You know what I mean? Like just the way like bars are split, the way like you can end it on one syllable and start a new bar at that syllable, and he's just a good technical writer. I
Yeah.
think that's not this conversation right now.
Right.
And like producer wise, speaking of this Eminem and that whole camp, that dude Denon or whatever Porter. I mean, like I don't know, like I can't think of the beats he's done, but I know he's produced a lot outside of just his camp. So I mean, production like that can help against the argument against like No ID, the.
But this is the
Kanye
only
stuff.
region I think in the whole debate that you could really say you have at least 2 or 3 producers that can knock that whole conversation out is Detroit, because you could throw just Black Milk and Dilla, and then count the catalog of shit that they made.
I think you could probably leave, and I like Black Milk. Saying this as a Black Milk fan, I think you can take Black Milk out, like
And just go with Dilla.
Dilla's a strong presence.
He's worked with everybody. Dilla saved careers. Dilla saved D'Angelo's career.
That's how I feel about Kanye.
You know what I'm saying? Like for
How many
real,
people
he
did
saved.
Kanye bring back?
Think about that.
take
Like,
away you take away Ye catalog, though you take away a lot too. Though.
You do take
You know
a
what I'm
lot.
saying?
Yeah.
You take
You
away
do-
a
you
lot.
take away a
man.
lot.
Take away a lot.
But as far as like, as many people as he's touched with his production, and he was nice with the bars. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Kanye's nice, but Dilla always wrote his own shit. Dilla got the hits. Dilla got the longevity. Dilla's worked with more people. Dilla's never had a public freak out to make you question his artistic integrity. So for me, I got to roll with Detroit just because of Dilla. I mean, really? That's just me.
Well,
But-
and see, like I only don't like arguing that point because, I mean, you know, I'm a huge Dilla fan. I just
Right.
I don't.
I
Think,
know y'all rock with him.
I don't think matched with Ye that he wins for Detroit. Like, I just don't think he catches a win for Detroit.
So I mean, what about Eminem versus Ye? Is that a win for Detroit? Or
I would put
okay,
Common against Eminem.
that's
Would you
definitely
put
a win
Common
for
against
Detroit.
Royce?
Yeah, I would
Definitely
put
put
Royce.
Common against Royce.
I would put Royce versus Common as the MC. Now I would probably give that to
Who
Chicago.
wins that?
Because like,
Who wins
let's
that?
not forget.
I'll
Like,
say Chicago.
There's bars on Resurrection.
Just because Common's a little bit bigger than hip hop.
I don't know, man.
Common,
I'm Common old. Like I'm Common back when Common wore
When he had
jerseys and drank beer.
like
and
when he had sense.
can I borrow $1 Common since first record? But
Breaker 1-9.
Royce, man, ever since Royce dropped, every bar is bitter beer face.
The bad
Every
yeah,
bar,
yeah.
every bar
Bad.
is bitter
looking
beer
at
face.
just bars. I'm talking worldwide contributions, like outside of rap, movies, being an educator, Gap commercials. You know what I mean? Like,
with that, I mean,
like, and that's why it's hard to have this conversation because they're all great rappers, but who is also bringing in for the entire culture?
right.
I'm just
Big
as
Sean.
far as like the culture though, like you know what I'm saying, like as far as like pushing the culture, personally still gonna vote for Chicago, but Fuzz got a lot of. He got me thinking over here.
And then so good music, Chicago, you know, the most consistent artist on good music is from Detroit.
Yeah.
Big Sean is consistent. Consistent.
but
Not Pusha T.
Slaughterhouse is this is opinion, but Slaughterhouse is better than good music to me.
I mean, but that's still
I think
that's too,
I like Crooked
I think
Eye.
it's two different animals.
Yeah.
Like, because for bars, I'm definitely going with Slaughterhouse.
Facts.
Right.
But like,
Yeah, Slaughterhouse ain't consistent, and Crooked Eye is no longer a member of Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So,
all right, moderator.
I know you. Slaughterhouse is this group. It's 4 MCs from different areas with Joe Buttons, Joe LRT's, Crooked Eye, and Royce the 5'9". Royce the 5'9" is in Detroit, which is the area that we're talking about right now. For our moderator and for the listeners, because I'm pretty sure most of y'all don't know who Slaughterhouse is.
All right, so I pose this to the moderator. Based on the information you heard at the table, where do you think the win goes?
Not your personal feeling.
Yeah, not your personal feelings.
Based on
Based
everything
on the
I heard at the
argument.
table, Detroit.
Then that's
Which,
what it is.
That's not based on my personal feelings.
But what do you feel like? What do you feel like? Like, what's your personal feelings?
Yeah, your
Rob?
personal opinion.
She feel like Yeezy taught me.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he did
I'm
a lot,
younger,
man.
but I also grew up with Eminem. Like, that's what people listened to when I was in middle school, and like Kanye West. But like the rest of it, like there was just, I mean, how can you say no to Kanye? How can you say no to Chicago?
Yeah,
I'm
you did a
saying
You have to.
I'm gonna say no to him with all this pro Trump stuff. No,
That's whatever.
that MAGA hat. No Kanye. No Kanye. Watch me.
He
Well,
crazy.
I picked Detroit. I think
He needs
Detroit
help.
won this argument.
does.
That's a cry for help.
Yeah,
Detroit moves on.
Kanye does need help. You don't have to do this to sell music. You don't.
I don't even care. I don't care. I don't care about celebrities at all. They don't care about us. So, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. New albums. All you gotta do is look at the timeline. New albums drop. Everybody goes crazy. Everybody has a breakdown. New movie comes out. Somebody's caught doing something with somebody else. New
Yep.
TV show starts. Somebody stole something by accident or did something or got caught doing some shit they're not supposed to do. Once that album comes out, you never hear about it again.
J. Cole
This is
effect.
like the third or fourth time Kanye done went
And
crazy.
we need to
So
kind of wrap
we-
it
do
up.
we
So
really
which
give
way? Which way? So are we going with?
Yeah, gotta go
I
to
went
moderator.
Detroit, right?
I think that it's a really like close argument, but I think Detroit wins the argument.
So Detroit moves on.
Wow.
You fought the good fight, Chicago.
When I get home, I'm going to watch Cooley High.
We miss you, Coach Cheese.
Secretly, I cried when Coach Cheese died.
So, hey, we at 23.
Lauren Hill, that one went from New Jersey.